What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. It's been a week since we got old swamp water back together, but I got some things I got to do again. And part of me last week said, let's wait a week until we get all the parts in. But the overwhelming part of me said, no, let's get this thing up and ride it around a couple times before we get back into it. So what do I have to do today? I have to take this dash back apart, which is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to take the mirrors off. You don't have to take the windshield off, but I'm going to because it's going to be a lot easier. Plus, that'll give me a chance. I didn't know how to line these levers up last week all that well. I've since learned how to line those up, so I'm going to line those up a little better. We got this part in, which I'm going to need to take the side panel off to really get to, because I got to line this air duct up with the vent that goes in there. There's a little piece that goes in there to help open and close it. We got some new parts in here. One of the mount bolts for this guy is stripped out, so I got a new bracket for that. I got a clip to keep this still, and yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so my tripod broke, otherwise I would have filmed some more of this. So this is all the prep work I think I have to do to get the dash off. It's crazy, huh? These pockets out, windshield off, mirrors off, all this shit off, these little collars out, otherwise the dashboard gets hung up. I may have to get this off, but in order to get this off, you have to get the seat off. So all that just to get the dashboard off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. One tip that I haven't heard anybody say, I haven't watched a shit ton of videos on it, but one tip to help get the dash off is take these blinkers out. And the reason why is because these vents will hold this dash into place. And I found the easiest way to get to the little clips on the vent is through the turn signal hole. So that's what I do. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Take this inside, get the light bulbs changed, put it back together. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All right, so we got the dash off, which was only part of the battle. In order to get this last, the 17th bulb, this lights the bottom of this LCD, had to completely disassemble the dashboard to get to it. And you can tell the engineers designed it on purpose where you had to do that to get to that bulb, because there's a cutout here so I could reach in there, pull it out, and stick another one back in. On the flip side of that, I've never seen lenses before, like the ones that make, I assumed that it was just one solid piece in here. These are all different colors. Here's my bright lights, overdrive, neutral, reverse, all my lights on this side, fuel, oil, cruise control. So I was a little stressed taking this apart. I don't want fingerprints all over it on the inside, but gotta do what you gotta do. So let's get it back together, and yeah, we'll get it back on the bike. All right, got the dash back in. I checked, hear those cicadas? I checked the lights. Everything seems to be working just fine. I can't see the little light bulbs inside the LCD display. Here's what I'm doing right now. So these arms are what allow the windshield to move out. These slits need to be aligned with the gap there, and mine aren't terribly off. I just adjusted that one. But they're off enough to where it could make a difference. One or two splines is going to make a difference in, the range of motion for these things. So we're just adjusting those, and then we'll start buttoning everything back up. Boys, that's going to do it. I didn't record today during all the maintenance because why? We got all the light bulbs changed in the dash. We got the trays put in here so I can adjust the windshield. As you can see now, I have it all the way down. Before, it was locked in place all the way up. We got a new mount bracket for this wheel cover on this side. Got a new clamp for that hose. What else did we get today? Oh yeah, we got this vent / trim piece installed. So good as new. And with this impressive body work here, just like factory, just like that. Why are you laughing at me? Is that like dumb clapping? It syncs up the audio between the two so I can line up the spikes.
I know, it just looks funny.
Yeah, you look funny.
I know.
No, you don't. You look great. Welcome back, boys and girls. This video is going to have a lot of riding in it because she and I are riding this morning. And, oh, wow, I need to tighten that up or something. Holy shit.
Oh, God. You want to do that before we go? That doesn't look safe.
You're right, it doesn't.
Yeah, why don't you go fix that, please? We don't need another wreck on the Gold Wing. Or any bike. You have your tool bag right behind you.
I do, you're right. You're a tool bag.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so... yeah, I'm gonna turn the bike off to do that. Yeah, how the fuck does that come loose? It's not like the... oh, you know why? Because when the Gold Wing rumbles and roars, it vibrates loose.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it's from.
Yeah, there we go. So we initially planned on going on this ride by ourselves, and then last night I put it out to the group, hey, you guys want to come? Only 1 or 2 people said they might come, and they're not going to, because a lot of them worked yesterday at Forgotten Angels, and I did not. I had the work on the Gold Wing to do. Probably should have been, I don't know. I go to every single one of the volunteer days out there, and yesterday I just decided, you know what? I'm going to skip this one because I got things to do around the house. It's not that I care any less for Forgotten Angels than anybody else. I just, I've been to 6 or 7 of those things, and not that I've done enough. You can never do enough to help out a charity like theirs. It's just, yesterday I had to prioritize some things for myself. That's it. That's it. That might sound self-centered or one way, but it's not intended to. Done a lot of work out there. Actually, last time I went, I didn't do hardly any work, like hardly at all. I just went out there and drank beer and shot the shit with people. So this morning, the only people who said they were going to come canceled, which is fine. So that means that me and the old lady can ride together as we originally planned, which I'm a big fan of anyway. I was hesitant about putting the invite out there in the first place because it's like, well, this is supposed to be our time, but I thought it'd be cool to have some friends along. Not a huge group, but at least something small. Maybe Jack, Colleen, Kyle if you wanted to come. But we also have a group ride planned for tomorrow. The standard Sunday morning meet at the Shame, coordinated by Kyle, group ride. That's something that we haven't done in a few weeks, maybe a couple months, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be hotter than fuck outside. It is what it is. So I don't know if you guys noticed, these windshields on the Gold Wings are obviously really, really tall. If they were any taller, I would be in a Civic. Yesterday, we mounted the plates that go inside of the fairing up front to allow it to adjust up and down. And this one was, prior to that, it didn't have the plates. Like, what did you do with the plates? He had it locked in place at the very tallest position, which, you know, I felt like it was up here, which it is. So now I've got it on the lowermost. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference in terms of temperature, but I can feel a little bit more wind coming over the top of my helmet, whereas before, nothing. So far our rides have been 1, to breakfast, 2, to the Dirty Shame, 3, out to the beach, 4, back to the Dirty Shame, whatever. So this time we're just gonna wander relatively aimlessly. I love these pretty back roads. Isn't this pretty, baby?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful back here. It's not hot in the day yet. It's gonna be hot later. But at least for now we can enjoy this early sun, these deep shadows, these canopy style trees. It's just gorgeous out here. So there's a lot of roads up north of us that, you know, can offer those same sort of accommodations, if you will. And we're going to take advantage of that, exploit them, if you will. Use them to our advantage. We are in the mountains of North Tampa. Just had a little uphill climb there. Well, I remember as a kid driving stick, learning how to drive stick. I had a 1982 Toyota Tercel with a 4-speed. And I learned how to drive a stick. My mom tried to teach me in her Geo Storm. She had a 5-speed. And then one night my dad came to my work. I worked at McDonald's as a 16-year-old. He brought his 4-speed Chevy S10 truck up there, which it would eventually become mine, and said, hey, you're driving my truck home tonight. And I'm like, I don't know if I can drive stick. He goes, well, if you want to get home, you're going to learn. So that's mighty trusting. right there. I'll tell you that right now. And then after he left, my boss at McDonald's says, "Oh, you have a car here?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got my dad's truck." She goes, "I need you to go to the other McDonald's and pick up French fries for us." It was icing that night. So in Tennessee, it doesn't, I mean, where I'm from, it doesn't snow a whole lot, but it ices a lot. The roads were icy as shit. You know, it's Knoxville, Tennessee, so it's a lot of fucking hills and shit. I was stressed the fuck out. But there's this, Knoxville is affectionately called the Hill, right? And going through downtown, there's a lot of roads that have stoplights on these very, very steep inclines. And boy, you learn real quick, man, how to navigate a throttle and a clutch by having to do that, because you got cars lined up behind you. And I never did the trick where you put your foot on the brake and the gas at the same time. I did when I was first learning how to do that. I did use the parking brake sometimes, but I'll tell you, the roads were so steep, the hills were so steep there that even the parking brake didn't really do a whole lot. That was an old car. Anyway, so somebody commented last time we were on a little hill from Circle K, and somebody, you know, she had a little bit of difficulty. She got through it no problem. Somebody's like, "That's not a hill. You're from Tennessee, you know." Yeah, but it's for her. I mean, she's from Arizona, flat there. We live in a flat place here. You don't have the opportunity to practice hills of any level that often, so it's not easy. I'll say that right now. Oh boy, would you guys look at where we are? This is fucking beautiful. This is Florida back here. I say that shit all the time, whether we're at the beach, out in the country, or whatever. This is Florida, but this is really it. We're out here, we pass swamps, all kinds of wildlife. Look at all this swamp. Holy shit. That's like a field covered in water and algae.
That's a.
Oh.
I mean, it's almost up to the road.
God damn. I bet that shit gets flooded when it gets any worse. But will you guys please look at this? I mean, you have no choice. If you're watching this video, this is pretty much the only thing you can look at. So pretty out today. I mean, it's going to be hot in a little bit, and anytime we stop, we're sweating bullets, but God, I love this. And normally when we come back to these back roads, I've never been on this one, not this far. I've been on this back road, but not this far out. It's really nice being able to share that with the wife, who has never been on these rides with us. She rode the back roads to Leesburg one time with me. I think you guys were there. Or maybe I didn't even record that day. Either way, that day we ended up doing like 200 miles. That was like her second or third time on the back of the Goldwing. And that was back roads, but it was 301. So yes, it was back roads, but it's a highway. This is just some bullshit road out in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where we're at, except for Florida.
Okay, no backwoods Florida ride would be complete without parking lot beers. And even though it looks like we're in the middle of the woods, we just came over here to get in the shade. We are indoctrinating her into the brown bag parking lot beers. Oh, you're not supposed to show. Oh, you gotta keep it in its foreskin, its little turtleneck. You can't take its little panties off right here in the fucking parking lot like that. You get arrested.
Nobody knows what we're drinking. God.
So, how was that ride so far?
Mostly good.
Mostly good. What happened? So we stopped, I don't know, about 10 miles ago. Had a stop sign. We didn't know exactly which way we were going to go. I said, hey, let's go right. I think she allowed the car behind us and some cars coming, kind of put her under a little pressure. And she dropped it on the right hand side, and she's very.
I stalled it. It stalled,
And then you dropped it.
yeah, because I thought I was like, I think my brain was thinking I was gonna go.
Yeah.
My hands didn't say the same thing, and
Right. So she's upset about it, and I understand the feeling completely. But what I told her, you know, on comms on the way here is like, you're doing fucking great, and you're not immune to the same exact shit that we've all been through. We've all dropped our bikes. Experienced riders drop their bikes. Inexperienced riders definitely drop their bikes. It's just what it is. You're doing so good out here. I wouldn't. Good news is,
feels like a setback.
it's not a setback. It happens. It happens. Anyway, she's doing great. So aside from that, though, how do you like these back roads?
I like it. It's nice. It's very pretty.
Fucking beautiful. Back roads of Florida. Obviously, we talked about it in Helmet, but all the canopies, the hills, the Spanish moss, the swampland, gorgeous. I couldn't be happier with the scenery like today, especially when I get to look at her when we stop. Morning. Anytime I get a chance to put Jack on camera, you know I'm going to do it. People say sex sells, and I agree. So you're not selling anything, so I ain't selling shit. I'm a free smut peddler right here. If you have beard fetishes or old rusty Triumph chopper fetishes, he's your man. Good news is, Jack has some performance gas leak going on here. That whole puddle back there is all gasoline.
No, it's not. It's just right there.
Come on, man. Don't ruin the fantasy. No, we are, it's Labor Day. We have met up this morning. I think we're going to ride up to the Dade City area, which is exactly where the wife and I were at yesterday. So this is going to be day number 2 of heading up Hernando. Is that Hernando County? Hernando Pasco. Something. We were in Hernando County yesterday. We got totally lost. Yeah, I had no idea where we were going, but it was a good time. We got a pretty big turnout actually for a Monday morning. None of these fuckers are laboring on Labor Day. Look at all this. All these motorcycles. Oh, Colleen is. Hey, but didn't she volunteer for that?
Yes.
Only one of these bikes is parked the correct direction. And it's mine. Anyway, we're gonna get on the road here in a few minutes. We'll see you out there.
Here we are, big old group ride. Not sure exactly where we're going. I think we're going up to a similar area that the wife and I were at yesterday. And normally we meet at the Dirty Shame, and today he wanted to meet out here, and I think that was actually really smart. I didn't ask him why, but I'm assuming if you leave from the Dirty Shame and get to these roads and go north, you have all of the traffic lights leading to out of the city, right? And if you come this way, you're already on one of those roads. This is 301, so we're not going to have that many lights before we get out of town, and I'm a big fan of that. The more airflow both me and Old Swamp Water can get, the happier we are, baby. Because I ain't in no shape to be standing around or sitting around in the sun that long. This sounds awful. Oh man, the Gold Wing is just smooth sailing, baby. I'm going to tell you a couple things that I still want to do, or one thing I want to do for performance, specifically suspension related. So I've always noticed that the handlebars kind of felt a little wobbly when, going through curves or hills, and I honestly thought my neck bearing was out, and I thought, fuck man, I don't want to change the neck bearing. But when I did the check on the neck bearing, it was fine. Well, I learned that it's just the forks. The bike is so heavy that there's not a lot of support there. And there's I forgot the name of it, but it's a brace that Gunny Z told me about. And I looked it up. It's like $60, $53, something like that. And it goes up and it goes in between. Well, you know how a fork brace works, but it goes in between the two forks, and that helps with your stability. It helps with your uneven tire wear. I've got some cupping on my front tire, probably because of all the little bouncing around with the instability that's up there and everything. So I think I'm going to invest in that. I like parts. Everybody likes parts that you can see, like things that like, oh, look under my bike. I've got a lot of parts in here that you can't see. I mean, obviously you can see the blue plastic. I don't know if that's a weird flex or if it's just what it is, but there's a lot of stuff underneath the plastic or behind the plastic that significantly improves the completeness and the overall performance. And by performance, I don't mean hot rod, because the Goldwing will never be a hot rod. But the overall performance, whether it's braking or aerodynamics or whatever, is improved by these parts that you can't see. And that fork brace is one of them, because it goes, that chrome fork cover that you guys have seen in the videos, it's up front. It's going to be underneath that, so you won't be able to see it. But if it does actually provide that support to help the tires from uneven wear, I don't even necessarily mind the little bit of a wobbly steering every now and then when I'm, going through some sharp twisties or whatever. But if it can help save on the tire wear, sign me up. I should probably do that next week. Now, parts you can see, the lights up front. The old green fairings did not have the lights, the cornering lights at the bottom. But the Goldwing comes pre-wired for them. So we're going to do that. And we're also going to get the moldings on the side with the other lights. And all that might be a waste of money. Who knows if this bike, I've got 102,000 miles and 2,500 miles over 100,000. Is it going to last to 200,000? It might. I don't know. So is all this stuff a waste of money? Should I be just sitting on my money and waiting until one day when I can, maybe trade this? They better give me 10 grand for this if I trade it in, because this is an award-winning Goldwing. This isn't any old GL 1500. Maybe I should just be sitting on it like it is and be satisfied. But are we ever really satisfied with our motorcycles? I mean, are we getting philosophical now? Is there ever a point on your motorcycle where you put one last part, one last piece on and say, I'm done? This is done. I don't think so. I think we're always looking for something to make it better. And better isn't always fast as fuck, boy. Better is just something that gives you more satisfaction. Maybe it's more peace of mind. Maybe it is going faster. Maybe it's stopping better. Maybe it's looking better. Maybe it's just the fact of being more complete, which in my case is... That's what I'm looking to do, is make this Goldwing as complete as possible. God, I sounded like a radio preacher right there. In the book of Mike Branch, chapter 5, verse 1976.5. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that shit is so dumb. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this ride with my friends. I'll probably turn the cameras on here and there. We'll see you up here somewhere.
Engineer, where are you headed? Carry me back to Tennessee. Oh, I got a little girl who's been waiting. Promised that she'd marry me. Mr. Can we leave this seat? I'll shovel coal, Lord, to pay my fare. Gotta get this train down to the station. My little girl.
Here we are in Dade City. Kyle will 100% of the time ensure that we find the place that we are most likely to be murdered. And in this place, it's a no-tell motel with a lounge attached. So thankfully there's strength in numbers, so the chances of us being murdered here today are slim to none, but you never know what's going to happen. Let's see how it is.
Yeah, he is. That disaster. I meant disaster. Yeah.
Jack has unique talent. He's one of those guys, no matter how hard he practices, he doesn't get any better.
Oh my goodness.
I feel the same too.
Hey, you know what though? Jack and I, we share that same talent. So my grandmama taught me that. People tell me you get better with age. I don't. I stayed exactly the fucking same, and it sucks. I'm the same level of irresponsible and bad at most things I do. Look at Brant though. I would call him a hustler, but he pulls everything out right at the beginning. Yeah. Me, I never pull out, baby.
All right, boys. What a day. We are leaving our second stop, place in Plant City, Florida. I was going to record on the way here, but my battery apparently had died on the helmet GoPro.
Proceed to the route.
I am proceeding to the route. Plant City, Florida. It's one of those country-ish towns over in Polk County, just a little bit east of Tampa. Oh, I'm not a big fan of brick roads, by the way. They look cool. They've got some historic artsy-fartsy value, but I'd just rather not have the heartache riding over them. You know what I mean? We're utilizing maps to get home. Once I get on the freeway, I'll know exactly where I'm going, but for now, I don't really know where I'm going. So, we're going to take all the assistance I can get. What a great day. The days when we do rides are always great days. They really are. And today, you know, we started out, I don't know where.
Battery level is low.
Battery's going to die. Anyway, we started out on the east side of town somewhere, over near the state fairgrounds, headed north first, then south. I don't know, man. It was just a great day all around. Riding with a whole bunch of people, most of whom I know and have hung out with before, ridden with before. A couple guys I just met today. The worst part about days like today is knowing that you have to go back to work tomorrow. So everybody's kind of knocking off for the day and going back home, doing their own thing. I'm doing the same thing. I got a video premiere tonight. Want to rest up because work tomorrow. Oh, it's hot. God damn, it's hot. It's September, and I know a lot of places around the country are still hot, but a lot of other places are already starting to get a little chilly during the day, and that is definitely not us. We were at that spot for 3 hours. My helmet was still soaking wet from all the sweat from riding down here. People talking about pumpkin spice and Ugg boots and shit. Fuck no, it's so hot. So a couple of our friends have already gotten home from where we were, and both of them said that they got absolutely drenched on the way home. And both of them happen to live in the direction that I'm going. So I'm a little bit nervous. While the Goldwing does block a lot of the rain, it doesn't block all of it. And I'm not looking forward to that if I run into it, which I'm pretty sure I will, because it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In summer, I don't care if it's September, in summer in Florida, I'm going to hit the rain. That's just how it is. Cena keeps telling me that the battery's going to die, and I really want to listen to music all the way home. So I'm going to shut this thing off, listen to that music, ride through, see what happens, and I'll see you on the other side.
Well, what do you know? Here we are again at the editing station. We're going to wrap this one up here. This is one of those videos where, and there seems to be more and more of those in the summer because we don't go very many places, but it's one of those videos where it's like, I had a whole lot of fun. I had a whole lot of fun riding with the wife and, you know, fixing the Goldwing again and going on a ride with my friends on Labor Day. And I was just talking to my wife about that, and I said, yeah, I had a ball, but does that translate to fun on the video? It's kind of hard to make these sometimes because these are my friends and they're not your friends. Some of you, yeah, they're your friends, but you know, there's a good time that I feel come across in the video. Anyway, I think you know what I'm trying to say. I do have a lot of spillover content. Again, I got some other things that I did last week that I recorded, but again, we're bumping really close to the 30-minute mark, so here we are. I do appreciate you coming along for this one and for all the videos, and until next time, we'll see you later.